you using Photoshop or something? What's going on?
Yes, kind of.
Kind of. Very helpful, then. I've opened the sharing policy. We'll read in a second.
Increase canvas.
One moment. Wait, holy crap! You can upload 40-minute long videos onto Twitter? I had no
Yeah,
clue this was like a thing.
Twitter doesn't have a limit anymore.
Huh. Well, I guess that nerd-looking fellow did one good thing to it.
Finally.
Finally. I think they should make the platform more gay. It'll be better then. If it had you know that one like image of two black men kissing? Right now? If it had that when you like started it up, if it was like their logo, then Twitter would be good. Like the X image makes no sense. Just have two black guys kissing. Why have an X?
I agree.
7, well, not just 7. Toho Gaming try not to make jokes about gay black men kissing challenge. It's the only kind of joke we can make. It's okay because it's funny.
Okay, and now I do this. There we go.
Nipa.
Coward.
Leave me alone, please.
Hide.
There we go.
I hope the game doesn't crash again because we're taking too long.
Hold on.
It seems to crash whenever you tab out.
It
Something like
crashes
that.
when I wait on the main title screen for too long and tab out. Those two conditions are necessary for it to just like crash.
The Sekimeiya did this.
True.
Sekimeiya did
Guys,
this.
this is now a Team Fortress 2 stream. We're going to be playing the Spy on PL Upward. My loadout is going to be the Kunai, the Deadringer, and the Latron J. Because when you use the Kunai, it's like a weep thing. Obviously. I'm gonna do this.
What is bro doing?
I put the Nekoark dancing gif on the screen. It's to keep the viewers' attention, obviously.
Which one? The Multiple Type Lumina one or the Actress Again one?
The Type Lumina one.
Base?
I found I downloaded the first one I saw, so then that like happened to be the Type Lumina one. Let's check our wish list on Steam. What am I going to buy this very winter sale?
Nothing?
Nothing.
Why?
You're poor.
No, I'm rich. I have $2. I have $2 to spare, guys. I'm sure I can buy something with that kind of money.
Okay. I did the funny meme. Hold on.
I think I'm going to buy Fart Morgan. The House and Fart Morgan. The best visual novel ever made.
Wait for the export.
I'm going to have every single visual novel on Steam on my library, and it's going to be very funny.
Does that include Mullove?
Yes. It does.
It's Nane.
If we're gonna play it for like 3 hours, okay? If we end up liking it, I'm buying it. And then we'll continue on from there.
Okay, I did the funny meme. Guys, look at this. We really are keeping the Sekimeiya meme community alive. Look at this meme.
Oh god. Here it comes.
I'm scared.
This is the first Sekimeiya meme ever.
Oh my god, that's so dumb.
I'm gonna put that on the OBS. That's the next meme for the week. Damn, he's good.
Single-handedly keeping this community alive. They should pay us, to be honest.
They really should. I think the creators of this game should personally come and thank us for our services.
Yeah. Imagine what would happen to Sekimeiya community without us. Let's look it up.
Sekimeiya
Let's look it up. SteamDB.
SteamDB. There's like 4 people playing it.
Oh, that's SteamDB. Steam charts.
It was 4 the last time I checked it.
There's 3 people playing it currently.
Damn, more people than Melted Blood Type. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, but that's not wrong.
I mean, it used to be not
I don't
wrong.
know. Let's see.
It used to be not wrong. I think it's wrong now after the updates they made.
Type Lumina currently has 93 players. It's over. How do we ever compete, Sekimeiya bros?
Sekimeiya bros, it's over.
It's Sekimover. It's Sekimover.
Sekimover.
And it's just the image. It's just like the image of Shiroya being sad.
Oh jeez. How do I put videos on OBS is the real question.
Man, turn it into a GIF or something.
I guess. I will get rid of the Neko arc in the stream. I think it has stayed for long enough. Now, I guess we're doing this now. Image to GIF converter.
Did you guys know that Giona lost his Evo 2023, Evo Japan 2023 Melty Blood Type Lumina run to a Neko arc?
What? No way.
No.
What was he playing?
Apparently Neko arc, the zoner guy. I forgot his name.
Fucking Danganronpa guy, right? Is it him?
No, not the Danganronpa guy.
Vlad or something. Right? What was his name, Vlad? Multi-blood Vlad.
Vlad?
Vlad, yeah, Vlad. Well, where does Vlad come from? It's Vlad.
Vlad from Vladimir.
Vlad from Russia.
These nuts.
Vladimir.
It's a League of Legends character. It's my most despised League of Legends character, actually. He's
Why?
so dumb.
Why do you hate Vladimir so much?
He has an ability where he goes invincible. He is an absolute monster at the late game. You just can't kill him. He constantly heals. He's like a vampire. He sucks blood off of people. It's so dumb.
A complete freak. Got it. I'm going to kill him. Okay.
Let that sink in.
Let
I'm
that
going
sink
to objectify. I'm going to objectify him.
What are you gonna objectify? Huh.
No,
What are
I'm
you
going
gonna
to
do?
I'm going to objectify him.
How?
How would you do this?
First I would make him naked.
Bang.
Mm. True.
I mean, that's what objectifying means.
Isn't that sexualizing?
Well,
No, it's two different things.
I mean, they're similar things, but you know. You know how like people go around saying don't objectify women in video games and stuff?
Yeah, but they also say don't sexualize women.
Yeah, so they are quite similar things. I don't know why Inferno said there's some different things. Are they different things? I don't know.
I feel like they are.
Are they?
Are they?
Pull up the Wikipedia, please.
I would
That's it.
never.
I will hold on. Objectify versus sexualize. Objectification versus and sexualization versus sexual desire. What? Is
What?
objectification and sexualization the same thing? Sexualization in mass media is a widespread phenomenon. Although sexualization and sexual objectification are often used as synonymous, synonymous.
Synonymous.
Cinema sins.
Synonymous. They are two different concepts. Across two studies, we investigated how sexualization affects perception of women and men as sexual objects.
Mm. Next week's meme is gonna be by me. I have an idea.
I don't.
I have a beautiful
I'm
meme
looking
idea.
for it.
It's gonna be fucking
Oh wait, what's the?
amazing.
So wait, what's the difference?
We have no clue.
Let me read it again.
I wasn't listening. We read that, and
Sexualization
then
is
we'll play the game.
Sexualization is to take a person or object and to amplify the sexual aspects of it so that they are the foremost aspect. Sexual objectification is to take a person and to treat the sexual aspects of him/her as the only important aspect, in turn changing the appreciation of that person to how an object or instrument would be appreciated.
And objectification?
Yeah, that's objectification.
That's sexual objectification. I can't speak. Whatever.
Yeah,
Doesn't
so
matter.
sexualization.
Yeah, but
also doesn't
objectifying is sexual objectifying, isn't it?
Is it?
Is there a normal objectifying? I don't think so.
That's the one Phoenix Wright does.
He just tells lies in court.
Yeah.
Phoenix went more like penis, right? Got him.
It's over. It's like you're the prosecutor right now against him in a case, and the camera just zooms back into him, and he's like in the damage animation.
Your Honor, the prosecution's evidence clearly contradicts the facts. Well, yeah, Phoenix, more like Penix, am I right?
It's so.
And then Miles Edgeworth, you truly are the best prosecutor. And then he wins.
Blows up prosecutor with mind.
And then they kiss.
Prosecutor with mind.
Anyway.
Okay, but Naruhodo. Okay, who do you guys think Naruhodo goes better with? Barrick or Kazuma?
I don't know, I feel like they should do a threesome.
I agree.
Okay.
I know. I feel like Barrick. He has that leg game.
Barrick is gay. I feel like Barrick has to be gay.
I feel like Barrick is like asexual. I think he's ace.
Nah, he's gay. He's exudating gay energy.
He reminds me a bit of a Astarion. Just a little bit.
I mean, I guess they're both like kind of vampire-looking guys.
Yeah. Vampire-looking guys are very gay usually. They are quite
Vampire equals gay.
Yes. Why do you
Can
think
we start
people
Sekimeiya?
call Dio
Can we
from
start
JoJo
Sekimeiya?
gay? Okay, Dio from
Do-
JoJo is gay, so all vampires are gay. It's called anecdotal evidence.
Yeah, but
Let's
like
look it up. Hmm?
seven. Everyone from JoJo is gay.
Okay, good
That
point.
is true.
That is true. Why else do you think I would watch it? Anyway, we're reading the streaming policy, and then we're gonna start the game.
Alright.
It's better not read the streaming policy
Why me?
because I don't know. Just do it. No reason.
You said
Big fat-
You said
big
you're
fat-
reading it.
Big Fat, can you read the streaming policy?
Big fat- Save
Thank
us.
you.
As the development team, we have no problem with full playthroughs of the game, whether recorded or streamed. However, please be aware that the soundtrack contains numerous licensed tracks that may trigger automatic copyright detection on various video platforms. This may result in issues with video monetization, audio muting, and VODs, which should not negatively impact your channel as all.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Uh,
Now we know the streaming policy.
If we ever do like a Persona 3 reload playthrough, I'm gonna make Big Fat Igor. We won't. I feel like he would fit the role quite well.
Wait, you're gonna what?
He's gonna make you Igor.
Yeah, I think we should.
The
do
guy
Igor
that says
Persona
10 lines throughout the whole game.
3. But
I
no,
see.
Well,
I'm pretty good at that.
welcome to the Velvet Room.
Welcome to
to
the Velvet Room.
Welcome to the sex room.
Alright, 7, go.
And Persona 6 is gonna have bisexual lighting in the Velvet Room.
Bisexual.
Okay. I wasn't opposed, so we entered hallway A. What were you doing last time? I forgot what happened. Anyway,
Ow!
Something.
something happened. The tension had begun to grow since we'd seen blood on the floor of the lobby. So using that arrangement felt safe enough, as we shouldn't be forced to separate ourselves while searching. Moving to the mechanical room would be the only unavoidable instance of that. They're going to electrical, guys. I'll see if I find anyone then. She nodded sharply,
Sus.
standing next to hallway C. Volunteering to look through some rooms was no heroic task, but I felt a bit better doing it myself.
Guys,
Yeah.
I hit my foot against my table and it hurts.
It's
Really
Sekim
shit.
over.
Sekimeiya over.
Naturally, my attention was first directed at the storeroom. I opened the door with Shiroya looking on from behind. The long corridor still extended up the door without a handle, and I stepped to see if I could spot any change.
It's Kate Kuij over.
That's a creature. That's like the dumbest one yet.
It is.
Okay, bro, that was kind of Sekimophobic.
That was Kuiji-phobic of you.
This is totally me when someone says something sekimophobic in Kate's direction.
Yeah.
He's literally me.
Everything was identical, just as I remembered it. I had no way to know if the door had been opened from either side, but I was certain that I still couldn't do it. Aww. I wanted to
Aw.
read. Aww.
Okay.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
Send read.
I was.
It's
Isn't
Inferno,
read?
though.
Isn't read?
See?
No.
You wanted to read.
Yeah, but it's your
Alright.
turn.
Move over. Bitches. I have a sore throat.
I think we should make
If you
Fred
can
that
edit
read to make his vote worse.
In front was room A5, where gems had been stolen. Although the room where Isla.
Oh my god,
Oh,
Isla.
Keep it. It's
Isla.
based- Isla.
Isla,
Okay,
yeah, roll with it,
okay,
roll with it,
okay.
roll with it, roll with it.
It's natural.
had been found was a more suitable room. I looked down as I entered it, knowing that I'd have to see her face again. I have no
It's
context.
over.
I love
There
staring
she
at dead
was,
bodies.
immobile.
Okay, so Big Fat, died. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Krillish. Her skin already showing a slight ashen tint. There's nothing next to her, so I quickly closed the lid and looked through the other
I
cabinets.
love looking at dead bodies.
After I'd seen all of their harmless interiors, I moved to the next room, deeming it vacant was an easy task, which was repeated for the next 4 identical ones. Only the security room remained. After I'd go to the mechanical room, making sure nobody had entered the room. In Shiroyo?
Shiroya,
Yes.
Shiroya would move towards hallway B. That would prevent anyone from using the event room as a bridge to remain hidden. The
I
event
think we
room
should show him the map.
Yes.
But when I opened the door,
What is he gonna do with the map?
I don't know. Give him more context, maybe.
I don't know.
Okay,
Great.
here's the context. There's an egg in this game, and when you touch the egg, you end up having gay sex with your partner.
Okay, you know what? That's a very good explanation.
I
I
believe.
agree.
There's an egg. It's a transgender egg, that kind of egg. And when you touch it, you either end up having gay sex or travel through time. It's one of the two. I forgot which one it was.
You see,
It was one of those two.
It was one of those two tries. Okay. But when I opened the door, I was met with a sudden and unexpected sight. My mind reeled as I stepped at it, too stunned to react differently.
Why do you sound
I
British again?
abruptly,
Yeah, why
I don't
is this goofy accent here?
bro. I think
British.
it'd be fun.
I hate Romanians.
Hell nah. This is why I
I-
hate Andrew Tate.
What does Andrew Tate have to do with this?
He single-handedly ruined Romania for me. Andrew Tate was caught in Romania watching horses for 5 RON.
Horses of Ron.
Is that your national currency, Iran?
Yes, Iran.
They have the Toho character as their national currency, bro.
Isn't that Rand?
Yeah, what is yours,
It's
Ron?
Oh, with like,
Yeah.
oh, Ron.
R-O-N.
This is so
It
sad.
is quite sad. 1 letter away from perfection.
I abruptly turned to face Shiroya, who responded to my gaze with a plain expression.
You know what would be funny if like a currency was like called Joe's. I have 5 Joe's in my pocket.
I yelled at her to come, and she sprinted toward me. Not only had I seen something I had put an end to the search, but I also realized that Shiroya and I absolutely couldn't be separated.
Who died?
Thank you. As soon as she peeked inside, she was visibly taken aback. Then she had to force herself to breathe deeply and try to look again. When she did so, she saw she hadn't been mistaken.
Indian movie acting. Huh!
Oh! What the fuck?
No, Kati!
No!
It is so over.
What?
It has
It's
never been more
over.
over than it
Wait,
is
I don't want to play the game anymore.
now. Worst game
What?
ever
Wait,
made.
hold
I
on.
can't believe that they
Damn.
would kill him off.
Get fucked.
It's so true.
What? They killed the guy. Can we touch the Sekimeiya and go back to before he died, please?
I hope we do.
What? Not my Kate, bro. Wait, that's
Whole
so rough.
gaming crew. When the child dies, me. When the Kate dies, it is so over.
Real shit.
And he was the only good character in the game. Dude, we're not gonna get to see the sprite anymore.
We only get to stare at good-looking sprites from now on, guys. Sorry.
Also, what the fuck is he? Why? Where is he?
This is how the game shows corpses. It's like
You don't see
there's a dead body, and it doesn't show you the dead body.
Why would?
Yeah, there's
Except
also
Dyla for some
This,
reason.
this is also how they show blood, except for the fact that they don't have
No
the red
blood.
outline.
Yeah, it is quite weird. Is there like a censorship setting or something? Like, what the fuck is going on? Is there like a sprite darkening, a label fading? Yeah, I don't get it. Like, is there like a censorship setting or something for like streamers or some shit? What's going on?
No,
I think the game sucks.
it might. Am I?
Dude, we stopped at the worst time yesterday. That's insane.
We really
We
did.
continued like 5 more scenes. Holy.
Ooh.
Well, 7 go.
Okay. Kate's body was on the floor, partially under his desk. It appeared the 2 drops of blood had been a mere introduction to the sea we saw in the security room. His clothes, the desk, the floor, they'd all been splashed by the same red substance. Even after trying to process the image for a full minute, I couldn't bring myself to move. The thick smell of blood began to disperse through the open door, trying to push us away.
What is this? There's no way.
At some point, she let out those words that radiated her pure disbelief. I couldn't bring myself to reply, but I took a step forward, looking all over the dimly lit room. 3 bright lights were situated in front of me. They were the 3 main monitors of the computer, which indicated that less than 50 minutes ago, it had been used. Shroya entered behind me, taking careful steps to avoid the blood that covered the majority of the floor. We looked at Kate's face. Under the shadow of the desk, his darkened expression looked distressed and agitated, reminiscent of the one he'd been making in the attic.
I miss the attic Kate, bro.
Same. Bro was so fucking dumb.
I swallowed my accumulated saliva and carefully crouched to check his pulse, but I didn't feel anything. I tried not to look in Shira's direction and continued inspecting Kate until I saw that a bit of blood was still pouring out his skull. Ain't no way, they really did it to him. They really did that.
Mods, crush his skull.
No way!
This is so sad.
It really is.
I didn't have to turn his head too much to see a huge.
It is actually crushed.
Oh my god.
Worst game ever.
I think I know what my next meme is going to be.
Bro, how could they do this to Kate, man?
How could they do this? It's so over, dude. I immediately averted my eyes, with no doubts that what I would have seen if his white hair hadn't prevented it.
So, we should be thankful that he's not balding with age. Thank you.
I stood up, shaken by the eerie background noise that the arithmetic sound of dripping blood and the whirring computer had joined forces to create.
There's a horizontal crack in the back of his head. Given how much blood is on the desk, I think he fell on its edge. Interesting.
Once again, Shiraya looked down at the pool of blood. It was natural for a head injury to bleed so much, and what I deduced hadn't given much away. For all we knew, it could have been an accident. The way I imagined, if he'd fallen back, he would have hit his head against the desk and ended up under the chair, and pushed the chair away. Despite how much blood had coated the floor, no bloody footprints could be seen leaving the room.
I think this is Big Fat.
If he wants
You
to
got
read,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I was just making sure it went after. However, the gruesome scenery obligated us to think that someone could have done it. Pushing Kate would have achieved the same result. Vast pools of blood would take a long time to dry, so I easily spotted smaller drops on the sides. They were much closer to drying up, reminded me of the one in the event room. No matter what had happened, though, he was dead. Kate, who had been an enigma of his own and hadn't once stopped claiming his innocence, had met his sudden end right after freeing himself from confinement in the attic.
Yeah, I think my theory is getting more and more likely by the seconds. My multiverse
Look
theory.
at the screen. Look at the screen. There's a message.
You got mail, huh?
You got me.
Go for it.
I quickly glanced at it. As she said, in the center of the middle screen, I saw a tiny message box containing one single line text. Bro, it's literally just mail. 1004, cameras disabled and associated footage erased.
Oh shit.
Ain't no way.
Oh, what? And at 10:04?
That must have been when Kate was here alone. We checked the time at 9:45. 20 minutes later was when he left and he stayed behind trying to fix the system.
9:45.
Yeah.
Right.
Dog, that says 9:41.
You're right. And
What did I say?
It said 9:45.
Yeah, he did actually. I just
I said 9:45. Okay, I'm dumb. It's 9:41. That is on me.
the skill issue. You're right. And instead, he erased the existing
Mods,
footage and shut down the
crush your
cameras.
skull.
That is what you're saying.
The most conspicuous and a message left on the computer was potential proof that Kati had been the culprit we were trying to ferret out. I reached for the mouse found on the side of the desk and dragged the message aside. Where is it? Oh, behind the program Kati has displaying the footage was the only thing seen on the screen. It had a list of all the cameras, but they were useless if they'd actually been disabled.
I lowered my gaze. The taskbar contained a single clock we had at our disposal. As soon as I glanced at it, the numbers switched from 11:59 to 17. 11:59? 16:59 to 17. It's 17. Only 4 hours are left.
Let's get out of here. From this room, too, the smell is getting unbearable.
This means that the police is useless because there's no more camera footage.
Yes.
We have to figure that out ourselves now. I had no complaints. Even though the hallway's illumination was worse, we had left a much darker room and breathed steadily after the minutes we'd spent inside.
The message on the screen, without a doubt, it had belonged to the security system program. Was that full proof of its trustworthiness? With such an obvious message being found next to him, I had to ask myself if it was legitimate or a diversion left by the culprit. Not only had the scene left the possibility of an accident open, but it had also displayed an incriminating message next to Kate. Had the message been a fabrication by the real culprit to put a blame on Kate and play it off as an accident while they'd been the ones to deal with the cameras in the security system? It wasn't easy to tell, and I wasn't sure which idea I was more inclined to lean toward. Wait, no, it doesn't make any sense. Look! I followed Shira's line of sight again, that time up to the ceiling. That green light is supposed to indicate that the camera is recording, right? There's no way they were disabled so long ago.
I'd forgotten about that, you're right. However, it was Kate who told us that what the green light meant. We can't be certain about it.
They haven't stopped flickering, and I'm sure they also were before 10. So if the cameras really aren't recording, the lights must simply indicate that they're powered on.
It's strange, though, that Kate would tell such a lie. If he disabled the cameras, part of the reason must have been that he didn't want the police to see him when they entered. Despite that, he's incriminating himself by lying to us about what the lights mean. So, your theory of Kate being not a real security guard, Sam, it's getting some credibility.
Yeah, that's not consistent. Could someone else have left that message behind to blame him?
I'm not sure, but thinking about it more, there's no way this was an accident. If Kate fell backward and hit his head behind the desk, against the desk, he must have been exiting the room. Why would he try to leave with that incriminating message being shown on the screen? Another person must have been involved with that somehow.
Me.
It's Inferno.
It's me. Sure, agree with me. After a few pensive seconds, being presented once again with the fact that the murder was nearby, we had to decide on what to do.
Do you want to search for the others?
We should. We don't know what happened to Akra and Sai, but I'm worried about Erina. We can't split up, Atsuki. We have to stay together no matter what.
I couldn't say that it was unlikely that Erina became a target for the culprit. Kate was employed by Ashia, a member of the security staff, but Ayla had died despite being a complete outsider and child. Any of us could have been next.
Yeah, okay. Let's stick together and find Erina. Let's just be extremely careful. We have nothing to defend ourselves with if we're suddenly attacked.
She gave me a tense, saddened look. Even though only 4 hours remained, seeing the outside world felt much farther away.
Let's see if the Sekimeiya is still there.
Sekimeiya the game.
Now it's
Sekimeiya.
Inferno
See you.
speaks. I think it's me. Yeah. We entered the event room. Sekimeiya hadn't been taken while our attention had been grabbed by the security room, so it was unlikely that that'd been the intent of the culprit's plan. As a routine effort, I lowered the curtain again.
We have to find Erina. It's not that good that we haven't seen her yet.
Oh god. Alright. There was no need to separate at all. We were only trying to find her, and she wouldn't hide from us. It could be dangerous to try to corner the culprit.
Right. Let's finish up this
It
floor.
makes more sense to like just call out her name at that point. And wait for her to hear us.
2. That is Big Fat.
Bring it. I got you. We went to the lobby to access the mechanical room. Down the staircase was the strangely imposing room that might have served purposes beyond our understanding. There were some spots out of reach from the stairs, under a table or behind some chairs in the back. Stepping farther and revealed the lack of any hidden person.
I doubt Erne would be in the hallway B room, but let's look before going up.
The first one we looked into was empty. Not having stumbled upon anyone hadn't stopped getting more and more unsettling. We knew someone wants to travel the second match only before we had. I exploded thought that perhaps, if the range had been huge, Erina could have been caught in it and left the tower. However, Kati had gone downstairs before, he should have traveled as well. Hence, the dryness of his body indicated that he died almost an hour before we found him. I was willing to disregard that theory. Jordan and I proceeded to the next room. Of course, they traveled out of the tower after leaving the attic. It was possible Kati had re-entered the tower through the storeroom entrance and then died. And the search for Erna yielded no result. That thought would gain some traction. The next room underwent an identical search. Halfway through, we realized that searching inside the cabinets defied the point of what we agreed on. They were only a potential hiding spot for a culprit we decided was out of our reach.
That's 7 actually.
We opened the door to room B4. Past it, on the floor, Naomi's corpse reminded us that it was the room where we'd found her. The sight stopped us in place, leaving us dumbstruck. Because at her right, Erna lay, her clothes tinted
What?
maroon by all the blood on them. What the fuck?
What?
Why did I die?
Why is everyone dying all of a sudden?
I think I have a feeling I know what's going to happen.
I also think I know what's going to happen.
I don't know what's going on.
It's fine.
Everybody is
Nobody
dying randomly.
I
Oh,
think I
yeah.
know where this is going to go from in here. Shroya looked at me with the clear wish to deny reality. It hit us like a truck. Erna was dead too, and the only culprit we wanted to avoid remained with us. I gulped before I took short steps forward. She was lying sideways, which let us see all the blood on her chest. Though not extensively on the floor, there was some on her stomach and legs too. But unlike Kate's, her expression looked almost serene despite how the time inside the tower had been for her. When I turned around, I saw Shroya kneeling down, burying her face in her hands. Someone around us had killed a mother who just lost her daughter, and we would have to continue fearing that looming danger for 4 or more hours. I had no words for the tragic we was forced to accept. You know, at this point, you know what I would do? I would find like anything that could be used as a weapon to hit someone with, and like a stick or like a broom or something, because I feel like it's gonna be necessary at that point, right? Just anything. Maybe a knife, in like a kitchen knife or something, whatever you can find. You gotta defend yourself. We stared at the scene in silence. Erna's clothes were a little torn, signaling a physical fight, and the color of the blood indicated that, like Kate's, it had been drying up for almost enough time to no longer to be considered a liquid.
That's it. I can't look at her Let's go. I lowered my head even more than it already was, clenching my fists. Seeing Shiroya like that was heartbreaking, but it was ultimately impressive how strong she'd been. On my end, I only found myself rejecting reality, and never fully letting the depths we'd seen really sink in.
Let that sink in.
Let that
Let
sink in.
that sink in.
I stepped out of the room, but I couldn't avoid turning around again and witnessing the end of two women we'd met that day.
Give me a second.
1.
It's been 1 second. Naomi's body was covered by an elegant curtain, so I didn't want to leave Erina behind without one. The cameras might not have been even recording, so I went ahead and detached another curtain from the cabinet, laying it over Erina. With that small attempt at dignity, we left the room. But Kate doesn't get this treatment.
Fuck
Kate gets left alone in the security room with a crack on his skull.
Based. Good. I think this is fat.
Mhm.
Okay, so am I going after 7 or Zen? Because
You're going
I've
after
gone
Zen.
after 7 twice. Okay, I've gone after 7
That's
twice.
because of the silly little game scripts messing with us. It's fine.
I see.
Yeah.
We walked to the event room with lost expressions. A threatening atmosphere had reared its ugly head with more finality than before. 2 murders had recently been committed, and perhaps while we had also been on the crystal floor, given the state of Arena's blood, I'm pretty sure it's Arena, you guys are saying it wrong. It was more than likely that her body had been in that room for a while. We hadn't reacted strongly to the past 2 or 3 deaths. It wasn't that we were desensitized, but that our feelings seemed insignificant compared to what was going on in this place, as if our defeat had been unavoidable from the start. There had been no time to really stop and consider the true gravity of being sealed away with 1 or more murderers, at least not for me. Thinking of ways to either avoid or root out of danger had been more important. But things had changed. Shiroya and I being the only ones left hammered in just how deadly the situation was. With all color drained from the world, we simply moved forth, glowing like birds with clipped wings trapped in a cage.
Aww.
Oh,
That's
new
very-
sprite.
Oh,
Sad Shiroya. Yeah.
why are we making sure it's supposed to be an important? Let's be serious.
Remember the Great Ace Attorney Inferno? Remember at the very end of the game we did the honk?
Yeah, but but listen, Ace Attorney's never serious.
Well, it was actually at that game. You know, Lord Stronghearts and those scenes at the end were pretty damn good. And I think they were quite
Your
serious
mom.
too. I was hyped. I actually took the game seriously at that point, you know?
Your mom.
So sad. Anyway, who reads this?
Me.
Okay.
It's him.
It is him!
I made sure the second man. I made sure the second man was inside the cabinet, sat next to hallway 8 door. Then Shiroya leaned against the wall in front of me. More than likely, we were no match for the culprit behind those deaths, so there was no point trying to do anything else. We had nowhere to possibly hide. Wishing for a calm day, we quietly let time carry us.
They just gave up. With nothing
7
left to
read.
do, I meaninglessly ran through the possibility of trusting one of the others. There was one detail that felt off. Doubting that Akuro and Sai were the culprits was foolish, but one thing backed it up. It was the drop of blood we found in the lobby. It had been completely dry, meaning that it must have been left while we were locked in the attic. However, the blood around Kate and Nirvana's bodies had been, naturally, from a time after we'd unlocked the bedroom. That meant that, during the time Akuro and Sai should have been the only people outside the attic's bedroom, someone had lost their blood. In addition, I thought that a small injury would have produced a single drop as big as that one. It could have been an accident. Akuro and Sai could have fought, resulting in Akuro's victory, going off of the lack of injuries when he joined us again. However, the truth could have been slightly more convoluted. Perhaps Kate or Erina had traveled to the past after leaving the attic. Then, they'd been attacked in the lobby, and later, the culprit finished them off. Oh god, my throat.
No matter what had happened, it was clear that something had occurred while we'd been at the top of the tower. And no matter who was left nearby, we didn't want to cross paths with them anymore. Nonetheless, we were guarding the Sekimeiya. We hadn't discussed it again, but it was what we'd intended to do before seeing the last 2 dead bodies. If the culprits showed themselves to obtain it, in that case, we had to escape. We had a door on both sides of the room that we'd left open. Closed my eyes and left my mind blank. It felt nice after having gone over so many thoughts. As soon as I did so, different questions came to me.
Why am I being stabbed?
True. Also, I don't get it. If we're assuming that there's like 2 culprits, then leaving 2 doors open doesn't do anything because they can be on both doors.
Well, provided that they think ahead that much.
They have Psy, bro. That guy thinks ahead 8 bazillion years.
True. That does make sense.
That guy would make
However, you know what we can do? Okay, you go first.
He would stitch a puppet of himself and then put it on one door, and then he would go to the other door.
You would. Okay, here's how it's gonna go. Akro on one door, Sai on the other door. Well, we just fucking push Sai aside and then move in. We can't do Akro anything, okay?
True.
We can't do
Yeah.
anything to Akro. But Sai,
Yeah, so
he's a
Akro's
little
side-
twink. He's not gonna do anything. If Shroya
Wait.
and Oski push on him at the same time, he's gonna move outside. We can just like push through.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on, I just realized. Since Akro is the Unga Bunga me smash Hulk smash guy, right? He truly smashed Kate's skull.
Oh no!
Instead of how, why had someone killed Arena? What could anyone have gained with that? Had it been out of pure malice, having taken advantage of the disabled cameras? Oh, okay, I was supposed to put it as a question. I see. That didn't feel right. We all would have been killed by that point. The Sekimeiya around, actions are bound to have more depth than they appeared to, and such a shallow motive wouldn't be portrayed by someone who'd constantly managed to remain undiscovered, I wanted to think. I couldn't be sure with Kate, but Arena hadn't done anything to warrant her death. Perhaps I thought she'd found the culprit. I went back to the little theory I'd put together. She had traveled to the past and confronted Akaro and Sai while the rest of us had been in the bedroom. That could have given them a motive for her death. Even though they were the only potential culprits, they hadn't appeared yet, so it was appropriate to think that they might not have intended to do so again.
Wait,
Inferno
the
gay fire.
recording. Our talker Sai, Erina was alive.
That's good. What are you thinking of it? Do you have any more ideas? Okay, Erna, what's with that face?
Hello, what's happening to you? Where are you home?
I love the recording.
Isn't that funny at all?
And Erina, why aren't you doing anything?
Xbox microphone ass.
Even though the senior players of Aaron and I were present, that isn't possible anymore. Was that recording truly intend to trick? Can it be a coincidence that Aqua and Sai were the only people so alive and only ones to have been mentioned in the recording? However, Aaron instead nullified his chance of being real. Or did it? I tried to think about it.
Even though Isla's already dead, she was the third and last person to appear in the recording. Yet, her death wasn't enough to completely deny its veracity. And that's solely thanks to Sekimeiya's existence. It's possible that Isla's still alive. She'll be part of the recording in the future, and will travel to the past but end up in the cabinet where we found her corpse. There might be different arrangements, but the gist would always be the same. Could something similar apply to Erna? Although, in her case, nothing supports it. The exact same thing could be going on with her, couldn't it? So, not even her dead body is enough to disregard the recording. Not while the Sekimeiya exists. That's what I've been saying!
Despite my uncomfortable position, my sight began to fade and I started to feel drowsy. Every time I rested a little, my body reminded me of how tired I was and of its strong demand for a full sleep. I saw that Shiroya's eyes were shut, and I wanted to resist it, but I couldn't help but close mine too, lay my head on the shoulder, and put my body against the wall. The smartest decision of all time. I knew that my consciousness was soon to fade, but having to wait for almost another 4 hours made any attempt at preventing it futile. I let myself go, temporarily abandoning the nightmarish tower engulfed in mystery. Why would we fall asleep? We're gonna get killed.
It's okay, we have the protagonist.
Chapter 1?
We're the protagonist.
Chapter 1 end? Chapter 1 end?
Come on. Chapter 1, end.
Uh,
Chapter 1, end.
hello?
God damn it.
Oh
No.
my god, it's over. It is over.
What did I do this time? I literally just joined.
Not
Correct,
you.
the game you made
You.
fucking sucks.
This game sucks,
True.
man. Why'd you make this game?
I mean,
Why'd
I
you
had
make
to
it?
make I had to make Ace Attorney look better in comparison.
True,
Don't worry
true.
about it.
Let him cook, let him cook.
True.
But hello,
Ahem.
why did you not make an international release of that one Sekimeiya Ace Attorney parody you made? Just saying, we found it on VNDB.
What? What are you talking about?
There's a
Man.
Ace Attorney parody of Sekimeiya. It's Japanese only though.
What? I didn't even know that existed.
I just found it out like a few days ago myself. It's on VNDB. If only I knew Japanese. I would read
Wait,
that.
what did you say?
Sekimeiya Ace Attorney parody.
Oh,
Anyway, who was reading this again?
It was
It's
supposed to
me.
be Big Cat, yeah.
Yeah. My subconscious is alert at all times, somewhere that I was surrounded by ever-present danger. That was why, as soon as the faintest sound met my ears, all my senses came back.
Huh?
What?
What the fuck?
Oh,
Okay, cue
Huh?
in the theme Danganronpa New World Order.
The Shiroya stare, bro.
Guys, this is the part if
wow.
this is the part if we were in like Danganronpa, we'll play like an epic song. And then it will be like, oh, actually, I'm Shiroya from a parallel universe, and here's how to save yourself. Okay, bye. See, this is what's gonna happen now.
Yeah.
Didn't
As if I traveled through time, I opened my eyes, unaware of how long I'd been there for. Thanks to the open doors, I discerned the origin of the noise. I stared ahead where hallway B was. What?
I froze. The dry sound in my heart echoed with me and stuttered. Just behind the door was Shiroya. As soon as she looked inside the event room, she saw my piercing gaze and received it with her own. After an eternity of a second, she turned around and sped up, and her figure rapidly disappeared.
Speed.
Then, without warning, I looked at Shiroya. She was still sitting down and leaning against the wall before my very eyes, resting her head on her arms.
Hey, hey, are you awake? You were trying to cross the border. Shiroya.
Huh?
Huh?
Aww. She lifted her face and looked at me with nearly closed eyes. They don't look close to me. Were you sleeping?
Hold on.
He's so bad.
Seven, look at the thing I posted.
Okay.
What did he post?
Oh,
Could you
I
tell
saw
your
this
lawyer
one!
if you're
It's
guilty?
him! It's the man!
It's too good.
It's him!
Saw that earlier today.
Literally me, by the way.
It's literally him.
Anyway, Zan, read your line, please.
I did.
Okay. I stood up, clueless, my mind cluttered. No, it might sound ridiculous, but I just saw you.
I dashed the hallway B. It was empty. I'm not still reeling. I re-entered the event room. What?
I'm being serious. Footsteps woke me up. I saw you in hallway B. You saw me too. But you walked toward hallway C, and then there was no one here.
What? How long have I been asleep?
I don't know.
That reminded me that such a sight could have only been achieved with the Sekimeiya, so I uncovered the curtain.
The Sekimeiya is still here, and it's still locked.
Don't understand. Are you sure it was me?
Why
Yes.
she's finally?
But there was a big difference. You were wearing different clothes.
Yeah, you were right.
It's the
Yeah,
parallel
she was
universe,
wearing
Julia, guys. Trust.
Different clothes? Were they mine?
If we go back to the logs, you remember that one scene where Akro like came back to the attic after being gone?
Yeah.
If I go back to the log, am I going to see Akro say, "Oh, Shreya, why do you look so different?" I feel like he would say that. No, but I think I recognize them. You still had your coat, but you were wearing a different shirt and pants. And I think I saw them earlier in a wardrobe of the attic.
She was too lost to respond. Yeah, that's me. She was too lost to respond, and understandably so. Meant that in the future she was guaranteed to travel to the past and live what I'd experienced. But it all went far beyond my comprehension, especially your strange behavior and clothing.
Stay here for a second. Inferno gay.
I rushed out of the room and ran to. Shut up! I rushed out of the rushed out of the room and ran to hallway C. It was empty as well. Had it been a hallucination? There's no way. I was sure what I had seen. I circled the floor and entered the event room from hallway A. It appeared that Shiroya had seen had deliberately hidden herself, so I wasn't sure if searching in depth was a good idea.
Let's go to the attic. I need to see if I'm right about this.
Okay. She gave me a little confused look and approached me with her hand on her forehead. We wanted to spend the remainder of our time in the event, believing it felt justified. As Shiroya's bizarre apparition indicated that something else was going on or was about to happen.
Should we check the time first?
Oh, probably. I'm so bad.
Bro wanted to check the real life time.
True. Hallway A was still completely vacant. Shiroya had clearly seen me and chosen to walk away. It made no sense. If that had been a future version of her, she must have known that I'd see her. It was Sai's dilemma all over again. I had just explained the events to Shiroya, so if she ever were to travel to the past and repeat them, she'd only be finishing an awful loop without origin. It couldn't be that she purposely let me see her because she'd been told it had happened. If Shiroya...
Yeah, I was just about to mention that.
If Shiroya ever traveled again, she'd immediately recognize that what I just experienced could be about to occur, so there was no chance that it happened without her knowledge, like when she called the elevator in the attic.
The state of the room hasn't changed. I saw some drops of blood had fully dried up, which was consistent with the time displayed on the computer. 17:29.
Shiroya, are you there?
Such a nonsensical sight. The person I was calling for was next to me, but she wasn't whom my shouts were directed to. Damn. I'm bad. Once again, if I tried to continue reasoning with my assumption that everything had to have an origin of some kind, the most simple explanation behind what happened was that Shiroya would eventually lose her memories. I was getting a headache. I'd wanted to finally stop all those crazy thoughts, but I couldn't. After the way Shiroya in the hallway had stared right through me.
The elevator is still here, so if you went up, you probably didn't use it. Let's walk.
Inferno gay fire.
Oh my god,
Go, white boy, go!
bro, I take like 1 second too late and I get called out, but when Seven does and he does
Get better, netcode, bozo.
She simply nodded. I understand that since she hadn't personally seen herself, she must have been too lost to take it seriously when she was still sleepy. As I went up, I reassured myself of what I believe. What do you believe?
Something else has to be happening. The way we think the Sekimeiya works does not explain this. Both of us wanted to stay in the event room until 21, but it was a different Shiroya who made us leave. What if whatever's about to happen leads into Shiroya traveling and she experiences her part of what I just lived? That doesn't make a single bit of sense. Again, the reason why we left the room would be because we left the room and we met ourselves leave the room. There's something clearly missing. But not only this is a bootstrap paradox, but it also goes against our own interests. We had every intention of staying there, so what could be the meaning behind what I just saw actually be?
Bro's tripping balls.
He
I hope
really
that-
is, though.
I mean, yeah, honestly, I am too at this point. I hope that whatever the attic contained is being a hint to that answer. Shreya had been dressed in clothes I thought I'd seen up there, which amplified how unlikely that a bootstrap was to occur. Why had she been dressed in clothes from the attic? Instead of going over how unlikely casual loops were, I had to shift my approach. The answer had to be something that directly come from me having seen her wearing the clothes. However, that had already happened and I told her about it. So what remained possible? What could the masked answer have been? Reason. That was what I needed to locate.
We arrived at the entrance to the attic. The key was still in the keyhole, so we began to go up the narrow staircase. A reason behind the Shiroya I just saw, who still has to be somewhere. Is it a coincidence that the hardest mysteries to solve had involved double selves? Now that I think about it, almost everyone but me has produced this mystery individually. Naomi's body appeared dead twice. Sai existed both in the attic and on the crystal floor. Simple time travel can explain it. What about the Akuro who had different memories? I'm struggling.
We call her Isla.
Isla and Arena have died despite the fact that they are supposed to be alive in the future. Now, a scenario that's very hard to explain with pure time travel has suddenly shown herself. The core mystery is always the origin of the extra person, the reason for existing. Something else might have been happening right under our noses, and we just haven't noticed yet.
Could it be related to... Second Kata hasn't appeared. The reason behind that be linked to what Akira said? He didn't know who Kate
Oh
was.
my god, I was right.
But he knew me.
It doesn't seem like anyone's been here recently, going off the floor. We entered, leaving behind the first footprints in a while. If anyone had entered or exited the attic, they must have used the elevator. However, since the key had still been placed in the keyhole, it was unlikely the elevator had been used to enter it. I believe it's in the right bedroom. The wardrobe had a few articles of clothing.
That one, right? I saw them too. I nodded and walked to it. Inside, a few old-looking clothes hung in the empty space.
I thought so. You are wearing these.
I took out a moderately sized white shirt and the dark pants, neither of which looked to have been designed for a young girl. Jeez? I'm not sure I like them.
Well, there isn't much else to choose from.
I suppose, yeah. I'd imagine I'd pick these if I wanted to use this wardrobe to dress up.
You were wearing them even though they're here.
I'm very lost about this, but does it mean that I'll go back to the past with them?
I don't know.
Something else have been the answer. I thought about that first. I just put together that it was very unlikely anyone had entered the attic recently. That meant that the Shiroya I'd seen could have dashed up to the attic to leave those clothes back in the wardrobe. I didn't imagine that had happened, but it wasn't out of the question. If that Shiroya had possessed another key to the attic, she would have come faster than us while we'd been gone to the security room. I wasn't sure if she could have used the single key we knew existed. The elevator had probably been on the crystal floor, so if she had the key, she would have had to go up with it, leave the clothes behind, take the elevator down to the 6th floor, send it to the crystal floor, and place the key back in the attic's keyhole.
What the fuck? Hold on. Even though they look the same, I'm willing to assume these clothes aren't the exact same ones I saw you wearing. Meaning that two identical sets exist at the moment. If your other self is still here somewhere. It feels pointless trying to think about how it happened while I'm completely clueless as to why it did. However, if you'll travel to the past and see me in the event room, Something similar to our last travel has to happen.
You mean that I'd need to wear the clothes for a while and then travel with the Sekimeiya? Then I'd have to appear far back enough, and the replicate location would have to be from the time I was wearing the clothes.
I was getting incredibly overwhelmed. As she said, that was the way to accomplish it. Other arrangements exist, such as traveling far to the past, borrowing the clothes, seeing me in the event we're eventually going to go to the past again and return into the wardrobe. Nonetheless, it didn't make sense. Why would she do that? It was so bizarre and like anything else that happened, I couldn't think of even a semi-logical explanation.
Let me see. It's possible we'll come across that version of you again, even though she didn't look too surprised to see me. Just in case we do.
I opened the drawers and took a marker out. That's not me, actually.
He's so bad. Brenna read.
I opened the drawers and took a marker out.
I hope this hasn't dried yet. If these cameras are actually still working, I might get in trouble for this, but they could tell us something of value.
Are you gonna leave a mark?
Yes, washing it won't get rid of it, so I'll make it tiny. On the collar of the shirt, I drew a tiny black cross. The more I think about it, the more unlikely it seems that whatever happened was accomplished by time traveling from the future. It would be a loop without origin, which is not consistent with which is not how a consistent timeline would work. Just like I thought when we'd been locked up, there was a way to place the origin of the loop inside Shirio's mind. If, in the event room, she'd created a plan in which the future self of hers would lure us out to accomplish something, and then she'd later travel to fulfill reality, I'd begin to accept it as possible, since it had happened to Shiroya, though I wasn't able to reason it out like that. If we ever see that version of you again and you're wearing these clothes, I'll check this spot. If the mark is there, it'll mean that you traveled from the future with it. If it's not, that'll tell us that the truth is different. If we couldn't see the mark, there wouldn't be many ways to make it happen involving having traveled from the future, and they'd all have to rely on leaving the clothes back in the wardrobe before we'd seen them. Once again, I couldn't help but experience an impending and threatening pressure when I tried to think about what reason could have existed behind it all.
I left the marker inside the drawer and sat on the bed. Shiroya joined me on my side, evidently not having yet accepted that a mysterious version of her was probably roaming around downstairs.
You don't plan to travel to the past or put on these clothes, right? How could what I saw have happened if you'll never make it happen?
I won't know, and I don't know either. I think it's just as strange as you're making it out to be.
I played the moment back in my head. That expressionless person who had unmistakably been Shiroya. What had her thoughts been at the time? I laid back in frustration. That had been the first time the bizarre double-body situation happened with someone I could trust and freely speak with, but she had no idea what the meaning behind it could have been. Perhaps that also applied to every other case. It could be that, if we'd asked the original Naomi, she wouldn't have been able to explain the existence of her double self. Could something have been creating a replica of ourselves without her notice? There was no way. Otherwise, the Shiroya I'd seen would have run to me as soon as she'd seen me. And even if she had a reason to borrow the clothes from the attic, if that was the answer, they wouldn't have been still in the wardrobe. I clicked my tongue, sighed, and rolled on the bed. I hated everything about it. When I looked at Shiroya, all I got from her face was a despondent, expression.
Word.
That version of you must have some cold. If she'd somehow been lost, or had somehow suddenly popped into existence, she wouldn't have ignored me.
What kind of goal?
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking of too. I assumed her goal was to lure us out, for us to avoid death or something. Because I don't think Shiroya would do anything bad to the protagonist at this point. Or herself, for that matter. Well, look at what she accomplished by wearing clothes from the attic and not responding to my shouts and quickly hiding it from you. She brought us here. Yeah, I think the reason why she wore those clothes is because they're from the attic. The main character wouldn't think that he hallucinated or something while sleeping. Because she's wearing clothes from the attic, it's oh, I've never, it's like kind of telling a way to tell the protagonist that it's not a hallucination or anything. That is indeed the Shiroya herself.
The Shiroya herself.
The
Yeah.
Shiroya herself.
Yes.
You think I wanted to lead us far away from the event room?
Honestly, what else could it be? That's where the Sekimeiya is. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm sure you must have had a good reason if that's what happened.
No, that can't be it. I'm sure I don't want to touch the Sekimeiya again.
But you could have come from the future with further knowledge and an actual goal to achieve.
You just said earlier that it can't be that, right? Even if, in the future, I think of a good reason to travel back to this point and use the Sekimeiya, I didn't know how to do it because I would have already lived it. I'd be repeating what you saw thanks to the facts that I repeated what you saw. That can't be it.
7.
I couldn't object. I'd use the same argument to deny many theories, but it wasn't fully reliable, as we didn't know the rules of the universe regarding time travel. Let's go back down, I suppose. We'll see if the Sekimeiya is still there, and there's a chance that we'll see you again.
Okay. Accompanied by an unsettling, gloomy mood, we entered the hallway. We weren't feeling too energetic, so we called the elevator. After a few seconds, the button lit up orange. I opened the door and entered after her. After
Mistake.
pressing... What?
Big mistake.
Maybe.
It's
The
going to
elevator...
explode.
Yeah, the elevator crashes. We just die.
That's the
That's the
Sekimeiya,
Sekimeiya,
everyone. End
everyone.
of chapter 1.
Yeah.
Bad ending.
After pressing the lowest button, I leaned on my uncomfortable handrail and wished for everything to finally end. We began to descend, surrounded by the unassuming sound of the elevator's motion and my deep sighs.
Deep sighs?
I can't believe this.
And now we wait, everyone. We're going down. Can anyone open up elevator music on Discord?
Dun, dun,
Roya also realized that we had stopped earlier than expected. As the secondary doors opened, we saw the floor 3 button.
Oh,
blinking.
someone called the elevator from floor 3. Did you hit it
Why would they do
accidentally?
No.
Why would they do that? No.
We looked at each other, puzzled, before staring at the opaque door that led to the 3rd floor. We were unaware of what awaited us, but we expected something to happen.
Someone must
Something
have pressed the
just
button
happened.
while we were still inside.
However, the door didn't immediately open. The only explanation was that someone had called it from the 3rd floor, but they weren't taking the ride.
Is it an ambush or something? Are they
No,
gonna like
it's
just attack
epic.
us the moment we open the elevator door?
It's an epic troll.
It's an epic troll. The culprit just like goes around and prevents them from going anywhere with the elevator. It's like their whole purpose.
He's just constantly going up and down. He's like, oh, they call it time to call the 6th floor.
If I were them, I will just press the 0 button again and go down, continue going down. The second you open that door, you're gonna either see like 20 dead bodies or the culprit themselves ready to attack you with a knife.
Are they stupid?
I timidly reached forward and pushed the door. Dog.
Are they stupid?
Are
Oh.
they
Are they
stupid?
More like stupid. It's defective. A desolate corridor came into view with zero apparent signs of life.
I don't see anyone.
Yeah, no shit. I said I was sure I was right behind. I looked at the button, but nothing indicated whether it had been pressed.
You sure you didn't hit it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
No, the elevator kept moving to the crystal floor.
Try to call it again as I walked a few mindless steps, attempting to comprehend what could have happened.
So hear me out. The culprit walked up to floor 3, pressed the elevator button, and immediately touched the Sekimeiya to leave. That's what they did? Really?
But wouldn't we be caught in the AoE if he did that?
I thought he pushed. I thought they would have pushed the button and just ding dong ditched.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think they just run.
But I don't think they ran. Well, the thing is that they could have just pressed the floor 3 button while they were on floor 6. Like the second the elevator like started working, they could press the button then. Or rather, the second they were in the elevator, and then they
I
would not be in
guess
the
we
elevator.
weren't told when it was pressed. I guess. So.
That could have happened. I don't think that contradicts. Did someone run away after pressing the button?
I pushed the stairs, but the most likely route anyone would have chosen to hide in a rush. I could immediately see it, so we'd have to choose which way to go.
And there is really no one here. Should we keep going down?
I guess so.
Maybe we should continue on foot. It could have been the other version of you.
Okay.
She's going back to the
Okay.
one-liners. Who's this?
You.
Final,
Okay.
you.
Our synchronized footsteps
Finally.
began to echo around the wide interior, setting up an uncomfortable atmosphere that we've gotten very familiar with. I was barely ahead of
Fin-
Shroya. After a few steps, I
Fi-
reached the left turn. Fuck you.
Finally, she wrote a character regression.
True, true.
There's no music. There's no music, by the way. I think something messed up is gonna happen.
No BGM.
No BGM.
I think the developers suck and they should debug this stupid game.
Let's
Read
get
like
hollow
we.
in here.
Read
Red
like
Hollow,
we
why did you
read.
not playtest this video game? Setting up an uncomfortable atmosphere but gotten very familiar with. I was barely ahead of Shroya. After a few steps, I had reached the left turn, where the entrance to the partitions was. Oh shit.
Out
Oh
of nowhere,
shit.
I saw a hand gripping a knife swing toward me. My heart didn't have time to stop before I began to see the motion slowly. Without being able to give it a thought, I turned my whole body around as fast as possible.
Sure, Spike.
New Shiroi sprite.
I felt a breeze at my side from the swipe whiffing. I looked up to witness Shiroya's expression progressively changing to a terrified mask. As fast as my worn-out body let me, I dashed her and grabbed her hand, running the opposite direction. Ran as fast as possible and began to hear a third person coming from behind us. We were being chased.
The distance between us and the attack was minimal. While we desperately dashed, we saw the elevator on the floor and the floor 4 staircase in front of us.
We have to go
Oh.
down and use the Sekimeiya. Did we see their face?
No.
No,
They
I was certain we weren't going to have time to open the elevator. We used it before being caught. The
Yeah,
staircase
also-
was our single option.
This is so dumb. Why don't we just look back for a second? Or why doesn't just Shiroya look back?
I think Shroya
Good
would have
song, by
probably
the
seen
way.
it.
Good song, by the way.
Is she dumb?
So not fitting.
That's
Dude,
what my-
this game's songs are weird like that.
They are. They just like
But
commission
it's
like
still
a
a good
bunch of
song.
artists to do like whatever the fuck they want, and they just like randomly place the songs throughout the game. It's like fucking
It's
Evangelion
so-
playing classical
it's-
music when they run out of
it's so-
OSTs while during fight
It's
scenes.
so techno. Like, the songs are so electro and they're so techno for whatever reason. This they're
Honestly-
playing
Yeah.
Danganronpa V3.
Honestly, they could have chosen royalty-free songs and they had the same effect.
Yeah.
True. I think they just did like the Evangelion thing. I don't know if you guys remember, but toward like the last episodes, they ran out of music, so they played classical music during like Eva fights, like just regular old fight scenes. They just like played classical music during it.
Why?
Watched, Evangelion because they had no money.
Yeah.
They really did have no money.
Yeah,
why-
the last episode was as bad as it was because they literally ran out of money and they gave a warning at the beginning of the episode.
I'm
Why-
pretty sure it had to do something with a disaster that happened.
Yeah.
I think it was some sort of sickness, or like, was it I don't remember, but
It might have
basically
been an earthquake knowing
a
Japan.
lot of the producers were injured, hospitalized, couldn't work. They had to pay for their hospital bills.
Mhm.
Why don't they just make more money? Are they stupid?
It's literally that easy.
We're getting off track. This is like a very important scene, guys. Please read.
No, it isn't.
It's you that's reading.
My
Oh no,
bad.
is it Inferno?
No, it's in.
Okay, Inferno, go read.
I put my whole focus on running as hard as I could, tightly gripping Shoria's hand. Without a doubt, the person we heard behind us had tried to kill me.
Seven.
Before we reached the stairs, I let go of her hand and prayed that we could go up fast enough. Halfway up, the steps below us let us know that the attacker hadn't given up and would continue to chase us. My heart began to race faster than I'd ever felt it. Despite how unreal it seemed, the idea that someone around us wanted our death had proven correct. As soon as we reached the higher floor, we took off again. I looked at my side, ensuring that Shruya was still okay. She met my look with terror, not a trace of wooziness remaining in her. What had we done, and why had we been attacked? A myriad of similar questions flooded in my mind as we kept running through the straightaway. Even though the bathrooms couldn't be locked from the inside, Kate had said that his key opened all of them. We were most definitely being chased by his killer, who could have picked it up or could go back to the security room to do so. Entering the partitions would only doom us too. Instead, with the distance between us and our attacker beginning to extend, we did our best not to slow down for even a second. Let's go to the attic.
In a hoarse voice, I let out what I'd intended to be reassuring words that I couldn't finish off. I'd realized that our only chance relied on the attic. The key should have still been there, so if we kept the same pace until we arrived at it, we'd have enough time to lock ourselves inside. Once more, we forced our exhausted bodies up to the floor 5 staircase while the adrenaline's effects started to wear off. I desperately needed to slow down, but I pushed myself more than I'd ever thought I could. I wasn't going to die. I repelled that thought more than anything.
He grabs Shiroya's hand again and sprinted towards the partition. Words. We haven't come to the tower to die, and it had been the complete opposite.
We had come to the tower to live.
Almost 4 hours remained, and the footfalls behind us continuously warned us how badly someone wanted us dead. Despite their lower speeds, they were still running. We had to go to the... What?
They need to nerf their speed stat for real.
We had to go to the attic. That was our only way to survive, but somehow the culprit had a knife. As soon as I considered how nonsensical that was, a flash of Irina's death came to me. There had been a blood stain on her chest, and although we hadn't expected it, the same knife must have taken her life. The last staircase we had to power through was in reach, and Shoria's body began to tremble as a sign of how much she pushed herself to escape from the danger of death.
Only one more. We lock ourselves up in the attic.
My mind started to feel numb as soon as I spat out some words. She nodded almost imperceptibly, while the terrifying echo of our persistent attacker refused to fail.
Put the beds under the locker, push them towards the door to block it.
The primary dev listened to a ton of EDM music while writing the game, and then asked the composers if he could use it. So the BGM for many scenes is the BGM the author was listening to while writing it. Apparently, someone said. So nobody. Huh. I guess
go ahead.
Is there original songs made for this specific game then? I wonder.
Oh, someone says
I guess
in the
not.
Twitch chat, guys. One moment. Please.
Yeah, that's what I just read. Read.
Thank you, Zen, for being mindful of the discussions in the stream chat. You're a very good streamer.
Yeah, you know him.
You know me, Shiroya, last name. What is my last name?
What is it? Thank you, Lopsidation, for the fun little Sekimeiya fact.
It's go read. We're about to die. Come on.
Sekimeiya fun fact
Stop
number
getting
1.
off track, everyone. We have to finish this very funny little game, alright? It's gonna be like 200 hours.
Sekimeiya fun fact number 5, number 15. Kate's shoes on Burger
Only one original song. They were not musical people, definitely. You know, I think I made this game, guys. I made this game.
Okay. I stepped up to the stairs, unable to match
original song.
I stepped into the surge and wanted to match the prior pace. Our bodies couldn't withstand much more. As much as I tried to keep up for just a few more seconds, my legs were barely responding. Seeing how the same thing was happening to Shiroi, I feared that our lack of sleep would finally catch up to us. Uh-oh. I'd been able to see the body we attacked, but there weren't many options. They were chasing us with an eye, so we were going to die without knowing our killer's identity.
Finally, please look back for one moment. I guess they're no longer literally right behind us.
Right behind you. Anyway, we stepped onto the 6th floor, and what could no longer be called running, but a forced stagger. Fortunately, our attacker must have been a similar shape, as they hadn't used our exhaustion to catch up despite their continuous audible steps, so they're not very athletic. It
No
could
way,
be
bro.
Sai.
It's
If it was
Akira.
Akro, he would like be fucking like right behind us right now.
Nah. Akira Hulk smash. He used up all his energy.
Nah, bro. He would like still be like at max speed at this rate. He would not be tired the slightest.
Dude, you know what? You know what I'm imagining? Akuro chasing. If this is Akuro chasing this, I'm imagining this is like the LTG meme. You know where he's running.
Oh jeez.
With like the covenant, the Akuro covenant.
Akro is actually LTG though. Mods crush Kate's skull. Thank
Mods. Sai, precious skull. Thank you.
He's the mod. I mean, he makes sense. It makes sense. He does look like the average Discord mod to me. That, like, you know, attitude. More like a Redditor, but
I
you know
go.
what I mean. Did I read that?
Easy. Ah.
Two.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Two. That's 3, right?
No, it's 2. It's big fat.
Okay, it's me. Okay,
It's
my
still
bad.
there.
Yeah, I had to step out for a second.
Okay. This one.
The attic door was open, and I could see the shining key placed in it. Really wishing not to faint, we forced that last sprint as we heard the noise behind us growing louder.
Boring all Sekimeiya scene needs some subway
What do you
surfer.
mean?
True.
This is the most
Let's go.
exciting
Dude,
part of
this
the
is-
whole game.
Yeah, true. Bro wants to see more Kate Lord up. So,
True.
actually.
Oh, actually.
What do they mean by this?
What the dog doing? In front of Reed.
What the fuck? The body had already given up, but thankfully too late to spell disaster for me. I took the key and entered the narrow staircase with Shiroi right behind me.
We have 4
Sounds
viewers,
like that
by
I
the way.
His name.
I shut the door and inserted the key in the inner keyhole. With a trembling hand, I turned and locked it. As soon as the tumbler clicked, I stopped trying to control my body and collapsed between the 2 walls.
Are you okay?
Little did I know Akuro would smash through the wall and still kill us.
We spent a full minute. Catching our breaths, during which no other sound reached our ears. Even though we'd achieved our only available goal, in case the culprit had another key to get in, there'd be nothing we could do.
I'm fine. Let's go up.
Why are you so quiet? What happened to your microphone?
Bro,
Spring.
shut your ass up.
Jeez.
Bro doesn't know what voice acting is.
Yeah, true. I was putting on
No,
a
it's
roll.
still
okay?
quiet.
No, I was putting on a roll.
No,
and I
it's
still
still
am.
quiet. I think you should get out
No,
of
I
the more.
still am. I'm still putting on an act.
Okay, screw you. Anyway, Inferno, read, please.
I stood up, and as soon as I was able to, still staggering, we began walking up the stairs to distance ourselves as much as possible from the door. Our government had even tried to open it after chasing us the entire way up, which made it all even more upsetting.
You didn't see their face, right?
No, I only saw a knife coming out of the corridor. I think their sleeve was black. They must have had it hidden somewhere.
I'm not
Right.
sure, but it could have been Akuro or Sai.
Bro, you don't sound out of breath at all. Look at me,
Okay,
trying to
my
put
bad,
on an
I
act. I'm
forgot.
trying to play my
I'm
role.
not sure, but it could have been Akuro or Sai. And an earlier experience taught me that I run faster than Sai, which I very much doubt is the case with Akuro.
Yeah,
Spent a whole
Akuro.
minute catching their breath.
Yeah, Akuro would just jump. Akuro smash.
Yeah, Unga Bunga
and
Akuro. Yeah, he would smash through the floors with his bare hand.
Alcro more like Reverse Flash. You see, he's like the alternative universe version of the main protagonist, as we like, theorized. So our main character is the Flash, he's the Reverse Flash. Get it? That's the joke. It
No.
was me, Atsuki. I jerked you off in 2.2 picoseconds while we were about to have sex with Shiroya. So you came. It looked like you came at the touch of a woman.
Picosecond?
It's that fucking
has to
Virgil
be.
meme.
It has to be him then.
No more Kate.
Who is this?
I think it's probably me. I didn't know what to think. Someone
It's,
had really. What, do something?
No, it's fine.
Someone had really tried to take my life and I had done nothing. Was I a threat? Or was the culprit just a psychopath? If it had been Sai, I honestly couldn't decide.
I don't know, but we might be safe here.
I looked by my feet. No new footprints had been left since the last time we looked at the floor.
There's supposed to be only one key for this place, but who can really tell? Duplication is a trivial matter at this point.
At least, if the culprit hasn't made a duplicate yet, they won't be able to do it now. We could be alright.
I'm not sure. If this is the same culprit who's been using the Sekimeiya all this time, I'm certain they'd have a way to replicate the key even if we have it with us. If the culprit is Sai, for example, they could go back to the past and replicate his body during a time he was holding it.
The pale fear projected on her face for a single instant was more than soul-crushing. I'd been with her for so many years and never seen anything like it, not until recently.
Bro, just get into a room, block the door with the beds and the wardrobes. Block the
Literally,
door.
we have couches here.
And then go to bed.
Yes.
Me.
It's like, where is it? Hold on. Get into like a room. Hold on. Upper bedrooms. Attics. Like, get into like the right bedroom. Take out like the beds, push them to the door, and like block the door. Come on, it's that easy. No,
Why
it's not.
didn't they just block the door? Are
Okay.
stupid?
Are they stupid?
Okay. Okay, but what if the Sekimeiya creates a giant laser?
It's over.
Oh shit.
It's over.
What if the Sekimeiya creates a big red button that launches nukes?
Big red buttons in the company?
There's a company called the Big Red Button.
Yeah, I think they made the Jack and Daxter.
I was just making a Kim Jong-un reference.
Kim Jong-un.
He made like a statement or something. I have a big red button on my desk, and if I press on it, nukes will be launched to the U.S. Be careful, guys. Thank you. He made like a statement like that.
No,
And then Trump like replied, he's like, "Well, my button is bigger actually."
Big
Actually,
Red Button Entertainment.
That was a while ago.
We love their title when you look up Big Red Button Entertainment is "We love making games."
We love making decks.
What
You say-
games they made? They made the Arc Slinger. They made Sonic Boom.
Oh, so
Yeah, they
that's
made
why
it-
Inferno knows about it.
Bro, that's the Guile move.
Sonic what?
Sonic Boom.
Sonic-
Sonic
Boom.
Kaboom. That guy. The Street Fighter.
It's literally him.
He is the Street Fighter.
John Wick VR Chapter 1.
What? Okay, I think we're getting off track here, guys. Come on, it's like an important scene. We have to be, mature people who have an audience of 5 live streamers, 5 live viewers. Words.
Words.
Whatever. Go read, big fan.
I already read
Actually,
this line.
7. Bring up the new dialogue.
Thank you.
That was why I didn't voice the much scarier way the culprit could have made their land. By traveling from the future, they could deliberately materialize themselves in reality if their location simply based on a time they'd been there.
Imagine
What?
somebody just appears in front of us. He's like, wait.
It's a horror game at this point. We're like in the back rooms.
Yeah, but there's techno.
The tower
The back was
back rooms.
techno.
Yeah,
This is literally just Turkish backrooms.
exactly. My favorite robot
Yeah.
game.
Wouldn't this game go kind of hard if that breakcore in it? Imagine if it had breakcore and Germa suddenly showed up.
Yeah!
German song?
Game of the year, baby. I think
You
they
see,
should,
like, a
they
tiny-
should have replaced Kate with Germa. He's serving as
True.
security guy.
Honestly, we could do that, right? It's a Renpai game. We just replace the sprites on it.
Yeah, I'll like use Photoshop to like crop him out in like one of his streams or something.
Nah, I'm pretty sure if you just look up German green screen, I'm pretty sure it exists.
Oh. I mean, but if I crop it out manually, it's gonna have like the roughest edges of all time, and it's gonna look even funnier.
Yeah, that would be kind of funny. Let's,
No matter
let's-
who the
let's.
what.
We didn't read our lines yet. Let's make sure we're alone.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
matter who the attacker had, two people would still be unaccounted for between Sai, Akra, and the other Shiroya. If it was Akra, they'd be dead. Anyway, we'd be in the attic just a couple minutes early, but it wasn't impossible that someone else had also been present at the time.
You know, Shiroya, you look oddly like the green M&M today. Sorry, orange.
No
we
song.
quietly.
Oh.
Oh hell no.
It's over.
We quietly walked around while. No, I think they just lowered the volume.
Oh yeah.
We quietly walked around while a piercing feeling invaded my chest. Aranakate recently died. I had barely been able to accept it, and their killer had shifted to targeting us, the last people remaining. I truly hoped that at 21 sharp, the police would come. I aimed to get out with Shiraya at that time. There was no way I could make it even a second longer without breaking down.
By breaking down, he means breaking it down. The next
Sexual
second, you
style.
see him. Yeah, you see him busting out the best dance moves you've ever seen.
No chat, I won't do the yoinky spoinky.
After he
Right.
starts
It's
yoinky spoinky.
Please.
Oh, we're such man children playing this game, holy shit.
Go, Inferno, go. You're white.
Go, white boy, go.
My heart's still racing. I went to the hallway through the kitchen, looked at it, and looked at the storeroom while Shiraya stayed in the corner. After I seen the empty bathroom, we isolated the two bedrooms.
I'll go up the ladder. Stay here.
But what if she dies?
It's fine. We'll laugh.
7 read.
Okay. She
You
came to the
read.
two parallel doors and looked at me while I climbed up the ladder of the rightmost bedroom. I was easily able to confirm that nobody was hiding. I repeated the process in the opposite one to conclude that we were the only people in the attic. Shiraya joined me inside. Our lives were at risk of being cut short, but we couldn't do anything else. She sat on the bed, knowing that we could have been in the path of some unstoppable force. Oh
Man,
shit.
song is back. No!
It's the bed.
Who is this?
Move the bed. It's right
Move
there.
the
It's
bed to
literally
the
right
door,
there.
come on! You're two people, you can push a bed, it's not that hard. Oh god, this is actually giving me anxiety.
We don't even know what's happening here. Hold on. But life wouldn't pity us. Before we could speak any words, a heart-stopping sound came from the hallway. Through a terrified whisper, Shiraya's raw anguish tore at the foundations of my will. The sound had made it clear. We were dealing with the real culprit. We had been able to enter our makeshift fortress. Trying to escape was futile. But I couldn't think of anything else. During the few seconds in which the approaching footsteps grew louder, only a single course of action came to me.
The key! We need to lock ourselves up in again!
An equally terrified whisper came from within me. I rushed to the drawers where the key to the bedroom should have been. The bedrooms we were in didn't have a chain, and crossing the hallway was too risky. What? It's not here?
The door was open before us. The culprit was searching for us. Within my panic, I remembered it. Sai had tried to use that bedroom's key to unlock the opposite door, and we hadn't seen where he'd left it after. Another door was open. It wasn't ours, but the one in front of us, leading to the bedroom where we'd spend more than an hour locked inside. Why? We couldn't shut the culprit inside of the key, but entering to get it might be too dangerous.
We need to leave.
As I said that, I took my shoes off and gesture at Shiroya to quickly do the same. We were able to hear the approaching culprit because of their shoes. Without them walking on wood, it would be almost imperceptible.
I feel like this is the worst possible action.
Yeah.
I think
Push the
there's
bed.
a lot more. Yeah, you can push the bed. You can ambush the culprit.
I mean,
like, there's
ambushing
quite
the
a few
culprit might be
options.
going a bit too far, but pushing the bed, bro. There's a little
no.
upstairs. Like you can go upstairs, and then close the hatch and put something on top of the hatch so they can't open it. It's that simple. There's a literal hatch. It's like the easiest thing to defend of all time. Just go upstairs.
It also, I forgot its name. The ambush strategy depends on which way the door opens. If the door opens towards the room that you're in, then you can easily ambush him.
That does make
Ambush
sense.
pro-
But I feel like they're like
Fair
true
enough.
panic to like attempted ambush at this rate. I don't know, but you know, closing up themselves up in a space is doable. The reason why the culprit can enter because they can replicate the keys because they have access to the Sekimeiya, right? So at that point, something that is not a key, just a physical block, is like actually more safe than a lock.
Unless it's awkward that we do.
Yeah, and then you can just
Hulk
smash.
Ambush Piranha 5.
Wish Pro 5. Okay, who's this?
I looked through me. I looked through the door and heard movements coming from the other bedroom. We didn't have much time. Shore and I nodded each other left while making the least amount of noise possible, holding our shoes with our hands. We approached the living room and began to increase our speed. The culprit had somehow entered the attic, but we didn't know which method they used. If they'd taken the elevator, it could have still been there, but we couldn't afford the risk of having to wait for it to come. Taking much time, we entered the living room. As soon as we did, a dry noise of which
Inferno, don't do that.
The dry what?
Don't yawn while reading.
I'm trying. This seems so boring. I need Subway Surfer right now. As soon as we did the
Crush his skull. Thank
as soon as we did the dry noise of footsteps on what froze us in place again.
What? Go to the next line.
Hold on. Give me a moment. I'm just just thinking things through right now. Okay.
But what is such a process?
Literally.
They were coming to us. Instead of entering the other bedroom, very faint footsteps were approaching the living room where we were.
Wait.
What?
No, we can't rush out. We might be going up against Sai. He won't let us escape like this. If he entered the attic, he could be luring us to the staircase.
We'd been so desperate that I'd left the key on the floor, next to the attic door. If Sai had managed to enter and then he'd locked the door, if he'd also picked up our key, we couldn't leave, and we would have just cornered ourselves while walking down the stairs. I glanced down and saw footprints that didn't belong to us. The culprit had definitely walked through the floor after our arrival. The terror locked my muscles in place. While the sound got closer, I began to explore the thought of attacking the culprit as soon as they entered the living room. Fuck, why didn't I think about this? They have a knife and I can't just tell Shroya to help me. We can't go that way.
Whisper, Seven, whisper.
Oh. That does make sense, they should be whispering that. We can't go that
She'd be telling me to hurry up with her eyes, but that could have sealed it all. I grabbed her available hand and dashed to the kitchen. What are you doing? Trying to leave through the main door didn't sound right, but we might have already been done for. The only other way out, the elevator, could have also been taken care of. The culprit had waited a couple minutes before making their entrance, so if they'd used them to disable the elevator below us, we would have been completely trapped. From the kitchen, we heard the living room's door being opened. We had to make our move. Footprints. It's possible that they could see we're in the kitchen. We have to get out of here. But a different thought came to me. they recognized the footprints and anticipated our actions, they could wait in the hallway knowing we'd immediately leave. It was too late, as I'd already grabbed Shurai's hand and I wasn't able to stop mine from turning the handle of the door.
Aw.
Those
So
two, me. The hallway was empty, but we could see the open door to the living room. With very little time to think, I could only come up with two courses of action. Do we go to the other bedroom where we can lock the door, or do we try to use the elevator? Fan aside. Once again, I consider that we might have been facing side. We're taking some time to think of a strategy specific so that we can run away. Better simply disable the elevator on the lower floor to block off the escape method. But he just had the bedroom and earlier I put the key inside the drawer where we found it. What if he just took it and going there will trap us as well? We had the chain but was unreliable. We seen our Okro had burst through it in 5 seconds. Okro smash.
Girl smashed the train.
Okay. In 5 seconds. Not only that, but even though we were supposed to possess the single key, I think the culprit had managed to make their way in. The same thing could repeat in the bedroom. Earlier, Akira and Sai had escaped with the key, and we knew they had achieved the second man some way. It was possible they even produced a spare key already.
Let's try the elevator. So trying to call it is all we can do. If it doesn't come, we'll have to leave.
Okay.
My heartbeat running wild inside my ears almost drowned out our voices. The culprit hadn't entered the kitchen, meaning that they were either in the living room or the staircase. We'd have to pass through the open door to get to the elevator, so we had to hope they'd gone down the stairs and wouldn't see us.
In an instant, we were on the other side. I had been able to glance through the door and had seen an empty living room. You sped up toward the elevator, but I stopped myself as soon as I remembered something. Huh?
Wait, it could be bad.
Everything could have been a trap. And even though we were in close proximity to the killer, we had to attempt to think rationally. We'd been instinctively running away to gain time, but we knew that was utterly pointless if every place was in reach of them. There was only one goal we could strive for.
Using the Sekimeiya.
The noise behind us resumed. Again, the culprit was approaching. We don't have time to run to the elevator and hope it's zero functioning. This is definitely a trap.
Open the storeroom and dashed inside. Should I just keep reading that?
I
No.
guess this is a different scene, yeah, sadly.
It is a different thing. There's a gap of the door. We can see the hallway. The sound of the culprit's movements will still reach our ears, but it has still become hard to discern the way they were going.
They're not coming here. I think it's very possible that after we left the event room, the Sekimeiya was taken out. We have to rely on that and try to find it since we don't have the key to open the cabinet.
If we find it, we can choose a place to seek it until we're unavoidably found. Then we can activate it. If we go far into the past, we won't be able to think of ambushing the culprit knowing where. We won't be able to think of ambushing the culprit knowing where they will be since it's contrary than finding us, but we could make it outside the tower if we're lucky enough. If we travel to the recent past, we can find a new place that the culprit would have just looked at. They'll only be buying us one time, but it's better than having to confront someone with a knife or keep exhausting ourselves. It has to work. On the third floor, the attacker was by the partition corner and not in the staircase next to the elevator. That must have been done either to look at us from afar or to prevent us from going down the crystal floor. They wanted to chase us instead of down. Chase us up instead of down.
Eventually, every sound faded away, and we could only hear our shaking breaths. In the cramped storeroom, we had to prepare for what our next and most important move would be. Why is the culprit not moving anymore? Are they waiting for us?
Do we try to call the elevator?
No. I remember how this all started when I stopped myself. We were going down with the elevator and I stopped on floor 3 because someone called it knowing we were inside. No matter who the culprit is, at this point, they must have thought of disabling the elevator under us so that we can't use it to escape. If, despite that, we called the elevator and it came, we'd have to be sure that it's a trap, and they intend to do the same thing as before. As soon as we go down, they could call it. The last time they waited next to the partitions, but this time I'm sure they'd be right outside to make sure we can't continue moving. Think about it. It's also possible we're facing two people, Akuro and Sai. If one of them is on the floor under us, they could be hoping that we take the elevator to have us in the narrowest of the corners.
There's nothing else we could do, is there?
Who's this?
7.
I think it's me.
No.
It is then.
It's Zen, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Assuming the elevator hasn't been used again, it should still be here on floor 3. It should still be on floor 3. If the culprit or one of them is waiting next to the floor 6 elevator and we called from here, they'd hear it's going up. Then they'd know that we were about to board it and use it. So they could call it to intercept us.
So send the elevator empty or something?
I was experiencing less unsettling signs possible. Waiting in the storeroom wasn't an option, so I can only find 3.
Ow!
Trying to use the elevator to go down, trying to lock ourselves in the bedroom, and trying to leave the attic through the main door. The culprit wasn't moving. They could have been close by, or they could have been close by or far away. Regardless, it was certainly thought of a course of action to apprehend us.
Oh God, can we stop here?
We're
You
like the
wanna
most
stop
like. What do you mean?
I feel like we
I'm-
should play for like 20 more minutes.
I'm tired.
It's not even like we're not even at the 2 hour mark yet, like our usual.
Who cares? I'm tired.
Oh my god.
Can you do 20 more minutes?
Yeah, but I'll just keep yawning.
Yeah, but
That's fine.
that's
I
fine.
can tolerate your existence, Inferno. It's fine.
Not many can say that.
All right, we'll do 20 more minutes and we'll head off.
Why would they have to stop searching for us when suddenly we are in the attic? It could mean that the culprit is working alone. If they put an end to the search to ambush us, it could mean nobody is working with them, or their partner would cover the job while the other kept trying to find us. So where are they waiting? No matter who we're dealing with, they aren't stupid. They must have grabbed the bedroom key just now, so going there is too obvious of a mistake. If the elevator is working, it means they have a way to cover us going down. Sounds illogical, but trying to walk down could be the best idea. It doesn't make sense that they're just outside the storeroom waiting for us to leave. That implies they know we're somewhere around, and if they did, they would be rushing in. After all, earlier they were opening every room. Every room. This means that for some reason they might have left the attic. Even though we're exhausted, are also faster than him. We should be able to run away again if they see us on the floor below where there's more space.
I thought about going to a bedroom to pick up a screwdriver. It was the only weapon I could think of, but I abandoned the thought. It was no match against a knife, and the more I thought about it, the more I felt that going back to a bedroom was a bad idea. Furthermore, if the culprit had taken the key, they might have done the same with the screwdriver, a clear weapon we could obtain. Let's go. We'll try to leave through the main entrance. Shura responded with a confused look. But she didn't object. We had to hope that, out of the few options we had, one would let us live. I wasn't confident I picked the right one, but I knew that would have applied with all of them.
We stepped into the hallway, praying that the faint noise our feet produced wasn't being conveyed to the attacker. Every corner made my heart stop, and my senses were on high alert than they'd ever been. Knowing a knife could suddenly swing at any time. We took short steps forward until we saw the entire empty hallway. Her terror couldn't subside yet. Silently, I peeked into the living room and let out a long coming breath as soon as I saw it empty.
Okay, we need to leave.
The tension I
No.
felt
You don't
The-
say.
the tension I felt when I found myself in the middle of a living room was unlike anything I'd ever experienced. From 3 different doors, a killer could have suddenly rushed in. We paid attention to our full surroundings until the staircase came into view.
Nobody was there, but I knew I had to look for something else.
That's our key.
On the floor, the key we used to lock ourselves in showed that the culprit hadn't taken it.
We can leave. At last. At least.
At least, man, make it to wherever Sekimeiya was. I still felt like the single goal we could attempt to achieve. Started to walk down at the same time. At the bottom, I crouched to pick up the key, but midway through, I realized we wouldn't need it to leave. The door wasn't closed.
Look, this settles it. The culprit has another key for this door, and that's how they entered.
While they could have teleported inside and unlocked the door with our own key, that they wouldn't have left it behind. Reach for the door and began to push it from a distance that I'd be able to quickly turn around if someone was behind me.
But nobody was. The barren scenery of floor 6 felt almost harmless, although nothing would have made us lower our guard.
Wait, 1 second.
Shura turned around and grabbed the other key from the floor. Then from the outside she locked it.
Could be that the culprit's still inside. If he disabled the elevator, there's a small chance I might have just locked them in. If they already left, it could even lead them to think that we shut ourselves inside again.
It was a good little idea. She put the key in her purse and attaching herself to the left wall. They picked up a fairly brisk pace, intending to reach the crystal floor.
Every floor was
7.
packed with perilous turns where our attacker could have been waiting, and I found it very likely that they could have been near an elevator door, expecting us to use it at any point.
2, so that's big fan.
Okay. We circled through the entire 6th floor and went down the first staircase. We still had our shoes in our hands, so we were making the least amount of noise possible. Unfortunately, the strong echo amplified our steps enough to nullify the effect.
2, 7.
7.
Running through floor 5, I thought of what we'd do if the Sekimeiya hadn't been taken from the cabinet. Unable to undo or unlock, we'd be done for. Going to the security room to attempt to pick up Kate's bathroom key would be the last thing we could depend on. However, it was very likely the culprit had taken it.
We made it to floor 4. We continually made a series of turns moving down through the building. Meanwhile, I kept trying to force out the thought that any of the plain walls could be the last thing we ever saw. 3 screens?
3 question mark?
Oh shit.
Oh my god, here it goes again.
So that's
this is technically 3, so it's 7.
7
The
again.
same knife, the same breeze at my side. After leaving the partitions as if the culprit had teleported behind me, I saw another missed swing that had been incredibly close to taking my life. It had happened again, a sudden ambush. Shoya let out a small cry at my side. We didn't stop running, but something had taken my desire to react. At that time, I had seen it. The hand that had been gripping the knife. And a wristwatch. Then,
Insane.
the voice of the person who tried to kill me broke out and resounded through the entire floor. Atsuki, you son of a bitch!
This is me. Vo's voice echoed in my mind. Without stopping, we turned our heads around to see an enraged expression of full malice. Then his body took off behind us, knife in hand.
Chase resumed. Shiroya and I sprinted as fast as we could towards the staircase to floor 3, while the fact that Sai had been the one to try to kill me forced its way into my mind. Why? And why then? His face had made it clear that trying to ask would be our end. However, as soon as I forced my body to move and rejected my action, I understood that there was no way I could run for much longer. The same applied for Shiroya. As we headed towards the staircase, I thought of something. Sai's pretty far behind. It's very likely the elevator is still on floor 3, just under the stairs, since Shiroya called it before we were attacked. If it is, this time we could have time to enter before he could catch up to us. Sounded feasible. As soon as we got to the lower floors, we could attempt to open the elevator. Sai had disabled it. It was likely still there. We concluded that he'd already entered the attic through the main door, meaning that the elevator hadn't been up there. It might have been risky, but our bodies were on the verge of giving up. Our lives balanced on a knife's edge.
Fire storytelling.
Finally.
Knife's edge. Yeah, even if Aqua was fucking with Sai, as long as the elevator is here, there shouldn't be a problem. If Sai is really working with him, what's likely is that Aqua was the one to go to the attic while Sai waited to ambush us. The way it had happened, I imagine Sai had been hiding inside the first partition waiting for us to pass by. We began to speed down the stairs while trying to decide on what to do. I hadn't started to chase until he yelled my name, which had created enough distance between us to seriously consider the elevator. Despite that, it still felt off. Our attacker had been confirmed to be Sai. Prefer not to let many things slip by him. The elevator was particularly fast, but most importantly, would he really let us use it? Even though we could outrun him at full speed, trying to open the elevator could lose us enough time. Could have lost us enough time, considering we weren't going to be able to keep running for long. Choice?
Oh shit, another one. Well, we're saving the game again, everyone. I mean, it's obviously going to be another 1984, but it is how it is.
I think this is where we should stop.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Shit,
Leave it for
this
tomorrow.
was actually fun.
Yeah.
This was a great session.
Really.
The plot
Yeah, Big
had
Fat,
things
did we-
happening in it for like past 3 sessions or so. The plot was actually going off.
It's like when I'm here, like all of a sudden
Yeah.
it gets so much better.
I know, right? I think Big Fat, you make everything around you so much better.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
It's not like this normally, Big Fat.
That's why Red Hole have been
It's
Yes,
just-
normally just Kate telling us about some
just
random fact we
yeah.
don't care about for like 20 minutes. Either that or like Science Kate just like arguing about some shit. Oh, you're the killer. No,
Yeah, but
you're the
Kate's-
killer.
Yeah, but Kati's finally dead.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah,
Thank God.
You knew this session was going to be fun the moment it started off with Kate dying.
Yeah, let him cook. They hated Jesus because
Also-
he told them the truth.
Bro,
Also-
I'm gonna miss Kati.
I'm not.
Also, my meme from earlier this morning, now makes much more sense. With Sai and Kate
Single-handedly keeping the Sekimeiya community alive.
literally single-handedly.
Man, I can't believe. I think I know what happened. Remember my multiverse theory?
Mm-hmm.
I think this Sai is from the other multiverse. And this Sai, remember how they told Kate that I've been threatening people? Well, the protagonist has been threatening people. Yeah, that was actually true. In the other timeline, Atsuki is the main protagonist. Well, the main culprit. He's the main protagonist in both of them. He's the main culprit in the other timeline. So what he did was that this Sai from this other timeline got threatened by Atsuki, and he unknowingly is on our timeline right now, and he is trying to kill Atsuki because he thinks he is the killer. Does that make sense?
His name.
Hmm?
His name.
His name?
His name.
What? What are you talking about?
I'm sleepy.
You're sleeping. Anyway, that was enough gaming for tonight. Good games.
Yeah.
We haven't had our
Bless you.
Neo Strut yet, though. Hold on. I'm just gonna like display it for like 2 seconds, and then we'll be done.
All right, I'm gonna go to bed. Good night.
Yeah. Good night, Inferno. The daily Neo
I am
Strut needs to be put
also-
on the stream, otherwise it's not like a valid stream.
I am also going to sleep.
Now
Have
I
a
have
good night,
become
guys.
sleepy. Go to bed. J. Robert
Bye-bye.
Oppenheimer. Bye bye. He's gone. Are you still there, Fat?
Yeah.
Would you like to say goodbye to my 4 viewers?
I'm one of them.
Okay, would you like to say goodbye to my 3 viewers?
Goodbye, my friends. I literally do not even show up on the
Past streams,
on the
yeah.
thing.
Like, we just took this
Yeah.
random guy and we put him on the stream. Like, the guy knew nothing. We just put him in the game.
Yeah, no, I was here for like the first stream where I read a little bit and then I left like midway through.
Mhm.
And then this is the second stream I've done
Yeah,
on
we've
with this game.
we've played this game like we had like 13 sessions in total so far, I think. Maybe even 14. I'm
Yeah,
not
the,
sure.
the thing is, usually you guys are streaming when I'm doing something.
Oh. American hours, I suppose. Skill issue.
So true.
Jokes aside, yeah. But it was kind of funny. Like, this random person on the stream has like no idea what the what's it called? I forgot the word.
Well, I don't know about the plot. I don't know why it's playing
Yeah.
techno music during like
Context,
a
that's the
creepy
word.
scene.
Yeah, he had like no
Yeah,
idea
no
what the context
context.
is, and he just like randomly got thrown into this like fucking murderer chase all of a sudden. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, no, it's pretty great. Yeah.
GG's. Anyway, I'm gonna stop streaming now. If any of the 3 viewers would like to leave, any messages or ask any questions, I will gladly answer them. But otherwise, I'm gonna end it up. Provided that they were actually watching the stream and they weren't just, laughing at us the whole time. This is so sad. I didn't get anything. This is the saddest moment of my life. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream now. Big Fat? Are you gonna do anything after this?
Well, I have to eat dinner.
I see. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna take a piss.
That
Probably
I
in
was gonna
reverse
ask you
order.
want to play a video game or something. I don't know.
Sure, like what?
I mean, what games do I even have? Hold on.
Oh,
I mean, I would say Strive, but you know Strive. What do I even have installed? I have Slate Aspire, but I don't have any mods on it. I have Risk of Rain 2. I have Plus R. I have Strive, and that's about it.
I mean, Slate Aspire, you can just do it's workshop opened,
Huh.
so you can just get stuff from the workshop.
I see. I mean, yeah, I don't have a lot of games because there's this silly little game called Baldur's Gate 3, Bald Gate. I'm sure you've heard of it.
Yeah.
It's 125
Yeah,
gigs.
no, yeah, it's pretty big and it's really fun.
Yeah, I've been taking a liking to it too so far as well. It's a pretty good game. However, it means that I had to uninstall literally everything else on my whole computer. So that's something.
I respect it.
I don't know if it's like very sustainable because I literally can't play anything else at this rate. Anyway, I'm gonna stop the stream. Good enough. Good night, everyone.